I don't understand what you said.
I had to ride with my designated driver because I currently do not have a valid driver's license.
Because you should have had a designated driver and you wouldn't have got your license suspended.
So, okay, well that's rude.
I don't give a fuck.
Alright, thank you guys. Thanks for listening to this quote-unquote podcast. I say it in quote-unquote because we're not really sure how successful this will turn out. First and foremost, we're not coming to you live because this is going to be recorded and then later distributed on the World Wide Web. But I figured that we would take some use of our time today because we're physically together for a while. Me and the guy sitting next to me, I haven't asked him yet if we're supposed to use aliases, so I'm going to let him decide whether or not he wants to say his name, and if he does, then I'll say my name. But I'll kick it over to him right now.
Hi, I'm Tony. That's Chris.
Alright, so apparently we are using aliases. That's a joke. That's actually a real name. But anyways, we're just going to start talking today, and we're going to be straddling the essence of being a little too expository because you guys don't really know us that well, but also being anecdotal in the sense that we want you to feel like you're our friends.
And we're doing this outside, so ignore the trucks going down the street.
At any rate, Tony, we have a checklist here of things we'd like to discuss today. Why don't you begin and go down that list, and we'll go forward with going down this agenda and making use of getting to know each other a little bit more while our listeners really get to know us.
I don't understand what you said.
Okay, well, why don't we start by talking about Hurricane Florence?
Okay.
I was in the midst of Hurricane Florence. I actually lived down in the south. I'm not going to say precisely where, but I did have to evacuate.
No, we need exact addresses.
That would be 4872.
We don't really need it. What the? Really? Come on, go ahead.
Are we going for
okay, you
realism here?
evacuated. Nobody needs to know that.
Right, I was evacuated, and then I had to ride with my designated driver because I currently do not have a valid driver's license.
Because you should have had a designated driver and you wouldn't have got your license suspended.
Apparently, Tony likes to tell stories midway through these podcasts.
No, it's a give and take. What, I'm just supposed to sit here like a monkey?
At any rate, the car would not go over 50 miles an hour because it started to shake. Now, this is an issue that we've been having for the last few months, but we had to come up to New York State because that's the only place we could go to get free lodging, courtesy of good people out there that know who they are and are listening. And, the car was shaking quite a bit. Couldn't get over 48 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was shaking like Michael J. Fox in a fucking bull ride.
Oh, the Parkinson's, I get that, yeah.
Really? It took you that long?
What? I didn't know if it was a role he played, like he was swinging himself in Back to the Future and Teen Wolf.
No, I always wanted to see a cross movie with that, you know?
Really?
Like Teen Wolf goes Back to the Future kind of thing. Or like Marty goes, like Doc Brown screws up the DeLorean, and Marty goes way too far in the future, where like lycanthropy, blah 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 blah. I can't English this morning, sorry. Lycanthropy is rampant, and God, I really can't English today. The fuck? We had Chinese food yesterday, and it fucked with our systems because we've been trying to diet. So, yeah. Anyway, you know what? Forget it. I lost it. Never mind. It sucked.
But it was a crossover. Right?
Yeah, crossover. That's it. Yeah.
I wanted to cross over to bisexuality, but
No. You wanted to buy sex. You wanted to rent hookers. You wanted to buy it, and that's not bisexuality. How many times do I have to tell you that?
No, I'm saying goodbye to sex. Goodbye. It's been real. Hasn't been real often or real good, but it's goodbye.
And it hasn't been real women either, but anyhow.
So...
Tranny tricked anyone? Maybe.
A tranny trick?
Yeah, you got tranny tricked.
Oh, tranny trick. Okay. Tranny.
Tranny trick, yeah.
No.
Open your fucking ears, jackass.
Did you know trannies still have to use the bathroom in North Carolina?
I don't think North Carolina is like India where trannies or anybody else could just shit on the fucking railroad tracks.
No, I'm saying that they aren't allowed. They can't go into the. That will be contested. If they're like, hey, I think that you're pre-op. This is more of a fetish rather than a lifestyle. It's legal. It's considered like a citizen's arrest to go check their Adam's apple.
Okay, so let me get this straight. What you just said is that... No, wait, okay. What you just said is that pre-op transsexuals in South Carolina...
No, North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina, okay. In North Carolina are not allowed to use... Let's say, we have someone who was born a male and he now wants to fulfill what he feels inside as being a woman all his life. So he dresses like a woman, maybe he already got the fake tits. I don't know, you can do that kind of thing in a weekend. But throws on a dress, looks pretty butch, right? Looks like, Rosie O'Donnell with a peanut allergy,
right.
And goes into a women's room in North Carolina. You're telling me that some other chick in there can grab her throat?
I am saying that there's a suspicion that it's more of a sexual fetish, and like they just went out to the club and came home, or they're on their way home.
All right.
I get
that, but seriously, isn't that just imposing someone's morals on somebody else? That's like Al Qaeda shit. That's like a state run by religious doctrine. You know what I mean?
What do you expect me to do about it?
I'm just saying. Well, you brought it up, dick fuck.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that, these people who are in charge, who write and pass these laws, and the ones that enforce them, are running off of someone where someone thinks, oh, it doesn't matter how you feel. We view it as some sort of fucking fetish.
Right.
Oh, never mind. You can't use that bathroom.
Well, look, I mean, in any state...
Look, it's not like they're fucking licking women's shoes while they're trying to go in there, It's not like they can only, orgasm while, sticking their face in a size 5 pump.
Well, a lot of people say they should just go to the back of the back alleys and take a whiz or something.
Oh, back of the bus. Oh, yeah. Back alleys, yeah. Put a transsexual in the back alley. Nothing can happen there.
She's not Rosa Parks with a...
No, it's Rosa Park your ass in the fucking alley because we don't want to have to deal with your kind. That's all it is. It's prejudice. Plain and simple.
Okay, so now that we've gotten a little preachy...
You fucking bigot.
What? Anyways.
Come on, move on to the list. Let's go. I'm ready to go.
Okay, so we evacuated. Now, here's where the story gets really interesting, in a sense, is that... I was staying about an hour away from where Tony lives now, and I was coming down on Saturday to prep a project with him, and on my way home with my designated driver, the car had a flat. Now, the issue here is that the car has been shaking, and we were looking into buying a new car, or at least really addressing this issue. So there is a silver lining in the story, which I'll tell you later. But the car was loaded onto the wrecker and taken to Walmart because the roadside assistance would cover that.
The wrecker? It's like a tow truck?
Yeah.
Or a flatbed?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Well, I'm saying it's already fucking wrecked, so... When you say the wrecker, are you talking about the car or the vehicle that towed the car?
The vehicle that towed the car.
Okay.
You can't put the car itself that's wrecked onto the car itself.
That's not what I was saying. I was trying to clarify your fucking terminology.
Yeah, but if you just broke it down to logic, how would I put the car that's broken onto the car that's already broken?
Everyone, he's been living down south for less than a year and he's already freaking losing his mind. He's getting dumber. The warm climate. Y'all want some sweet tea now? No? Alright, go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue your story.
Yes. Anyways, so the car was taken to Walmart around 7 o'clock. Now, it's the late summer.
7 o'clock at night?
Yes.
Okay.
Late summer.
Oh, fucking...
Early fall, okay, here in upstate New York. It is still very bright outside at 7 o'clock. So the mechanic and the assistant store manager come out after looking at it for about 20 minutes. They're like, we cannot help you with this because we're not going to take liability because we think the frame is broken and that car is going to just start to shake and crash into something and kill yourself or kill someone else. So we're like, okay, fine, we understand. So there's this whole hoopla for like 2 hours or so to get AAA to pick up the car and then take it to an actual established garage and go a little bit more in depth with it. In the meantime, I start shopping and they come back out when that tow truck comes back again to pick us up. And the mechanic, who had told me just like an hour and a half earlier that they could not fix this car, was like, hey man, yeah, we've been working on this car for a while. These customers don't know anything about the car. They thought it was just a flat. This thing is actually much more severe. It's ripped up and fucking it's got this and this. And he kept, swearing and saying the F word over and over again because that was that, mechanic sort of aura, I guess, that I brought out in him, even though I was just standing there in the exact same clothes and the exact same posture that I was an hour and a half before.
So he thought you were the driver.
Yeah, and he was like belittling me for not knowing anything about cars because I've never went to mechanic school or, gotten an associate's degree at Corning Community College for auto body or auto mechanic or whatever it is.
Or grew up outside of a trailer with a couple of rusty dented cars hanging on the front yard next to some engines and broken pools, like he probably did.
Exactly.
Are you really getting this upset over some moron talking trash about your lack of knowledge when it comes to auto mechanics?
No,
and he couldn't recognize you.
Here's what I'm getting.
Think about that.
No, here's where I'm getting upset. He asked for a cigarette and matches. I gave him my lighter, and he never gave it back to me. That's what I'm upset about.
Oh yeah, well it's clearly a scumbag. So.
Well, no, it's just that I told him, I clarified. I'm like, look, I am actually the customer, and I was like, look, and then he got really embarrassed, started flushing himself.
And you still gave him a light after that?
I was like, it's all right, dude. Okay. He was like, oh, I just haven't had a cigarette. I must be, it's been a long day and all this kind of stuff. I've just been stressed. I'm like, here, fine, you can have one.
So he's being a dick, and you gave him a light.
Yes, and by the way,
Then it's your fault then.
I don't smoke cigarettes, by the way. I smoke cigars, but I did have a cigarette for my designated driver because that person does smoke. But at any rate, so I give this to him, and he goes back inside, and then the tow person can't get a hold of the AAA,
the garage?
Yeah, AAA to pull it back, and then the designated driver starts bitching at me about getting the lighter back because she wanted to smoke. So I had to go in and follow him back into the garage. Like, hey man, can I please have the lighter? He's like, oh, you didn't give me the lighter. You just gave me a cigarette. I'm like, no, dude, I gave you that lighter. And he was like, no. And he kept like lying about it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, fine, okay, whatever. But this person forgot who I was, trashed me, stole the lighter, and you know what else happened?
What?
I saw him the next day.
Was he lighting a cigarette outside with that lighter?
No, I saw him Would you let me finish?
But that's...
What?
I should sit here silent while you just talk and wait for my turn? No, this is a communication thing. It's a podcast. People don't want to hear you just talk about shit that's bugging you. They want a little fucking feedback.
Yeah, you went off about the whole tranny North Carolina thing.
And you were involved in that. You gave me replies. We had a good back and forth going.
Don't we? You've been just talking for the last few seconds right now.
That's my fault. You have an inability to just jump right into a conversation.
All right, then why don't we learn more about you? We'll stop mine halfway through, like we always did with The Walking Dead.
I didn't say anything.
We won't finish this
about
character arc.
You stopping.
No.
Well, all I'm saying, okay, is that I should, and by all rights, I have the privilege to converse with you, to try and bring some entertainment to people.
You also have the privilege of, actually the right in North Carolina to touch an Adam's apple and see if someone is indeed hung like a fucking, I don't know, a
something.
whale on Moby's dick,
Yeah.
So,
you have the right to touch their throats, but not check them for cock and balls.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, if you're gonna touch someone, go all the full Monty,
But you
go
have
out the skirt and look for the,
you have
tackle.
to say, but it's got to be. It can't. See, they're very clear about this. It can't be with two hands, because then they think you're strangling them. It's got to be, sir. I have suspicion that you are actually a sir, not a woman, and that this is a sexual fetish. And you put your hands around them and you start to give them that little lumpy I'm looking at your lymph node sort of aspect. And if you feel an Adam's
Truck!
apple, and if you feel an Adam's apple, you have the ability to drag them out.
Okay, well, here's the deal. If it's a woman in the restroom grabbing at some guy's throat, and I don't get that. What gives them the right, legal or otherwise, to put their hands on some truck? To put their hands on someone. That's ridiculous. Sure, but if I do that outside the junior high school, I'm the one with the problem.
Did you touch them with the junior prom?
No, an ex-girlfriend was a teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to do a grassroots campaign about this issue down in North Carolina?
No, it's in North Carolina. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But, alright, so basically, you got angry with this douchebag moron because, it was your fault. That's what I'm getting from it. It's all your fault.
It's my fault.
The lighter? Yeah, it's your fault.
Oh, okay. So he broke a promise and it's my fault.
No, it's your fault for giving a light to a fucking douchebag in the first place.
Have you ever heard about the banks and the creditors that just give things out left and right today and they get mad that they don't get it back? And
are you a bank or a creditor?
It's my fucking lighter.
So then you shouldn't have given it to him.
So
your effing lighter, your effing fault.
Is that what you would say to the banks? Because they got bailed out.
No. Okay, so you're comparing you interacting with some half brain dead fucking grease monkey,
which makes up most of America, yes.
And you're gonna go ahead and you're equating that to like some savings and loan bailout?
Essentially, yes.
Okay, so that makes perfect sense.
Have you ever heard that every penny makes a dollar? Well, if we use that analogy, then everything someone takes on credit or on a trust of being paid back or given back violates that. So if I did that at the library with those little 25-cent pamphlets about how to collect coins properly and you can take it out for 2 weeks, I didn't bring that back. The last person took out was in 1987. I would still get yelled at by the library. I would still be considered a menace to society for not bringing things back on time.
So why didn't you penalize this guy then?
Oh, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
How? Is this the conclusion to the tale?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Please.
So, I saw him out at the Dandy Mini Mart the next day. I was getting some lottery tickets and other things.
Did you win anything?
No.
Yeah, figures. The week you're having, I wouldn't have played the lottery.
So anyways, I saw this guy and he was walking into the Dandy and I said, "Hey man, what's up?" And he dropped a quarter and I didn't give it back to him.
Did you put the quarter in your pocket?
Yes.
How much are lighters?
How much are lighters?
Yeah.
Like 99 cents.
Okay, so you're basically still down 74 cents.
Yeah, but the fluid in the lighter was on its last few 1/3 of whatnot. So I think it's kind of broken even.
Hey, if you feel that way, man, more power to you. Good. All right. Well, look, in any event, hurricane was bad news. It went from bad to worse to pretty fucked up.
Yes, it did.
And, it sucks. It sucks because, a lot of people got screwed down there. You know what I mean?
Not Jimmy Buffett. He was swimming.
Well, of course he was. That's what he does. But, and President Trump is going to throw, potatoes at everybody, hot dogs and hugs, and must be out of paper towels, must have thrown them all at the Puerto Rican citizens. However, one good thing did come of it. You got to hang out for a couple of days. We got to spend some time together. And we got to, record a couple of little video things for YouTube.
But here's a really
check us out on West 86 Productions on YouTube.
Here's a really bad.
Give us a like and follow us.
News is that my doctor and the viewers or the listeners can probably attest to this, that I'm going to have to get my ad noise removed.
Okay.
No compassion.
It's ad noise. It's not like you're losing a fucking limb.
I could not. My voice might be forever changed.
With your adenoids taken
Yes,
out?
That's what the ENT said.
Okay. So it's going to either raise or lower an octave. Ooh!
I'm not gonna have this splendor, resonance.
You have one now?
Yes.
Oh. Yes. I have one now, Tony.
That's not splendor.
No. This packet of wannabe sugar, Splenda. That's what that is. Alright, so anyway, Hurricane Florence, a lot of people got flooded, damaged to property, state of emergency, hot dogs and hugs and humps from President Trump, and you came up here, your car got fucked up, and you're waiting to get it back.
And I have to get my adenoids removed.
And your adenoids removed. Now? This weekend?
In the next, 60 days, I said. Because my insurance is running out.
Okay. All right.
Moving on. So this is a key element because years from now I will cite this today and you will forget it, which brings up the question, and it'd be interesting if the listeners could call in, but of course I can't. But I'm concerned about your deflating memory.
Okay.
You're not remembering everything that ever happened to you, and that really concerns me.
You remember every single little thing that happened to you? You have an eidetic memory?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I sincerely doubt that, because every time we talk about some subject or some topic of conversation like bands or movies, you say, I thought you hated that.
Because
when it's exactly the opposite.
You used to say that you hated this or loved that, and then you changed your mind.
I did not change my mind.
Yes, you do. You flip-flop.
Oh my God. Oh, so you're right.
You flip-flop like Oprah's weight. Yes.
You know what? You flip-flop like the president's fucking toupee. Seriously. What? Are you stoned?
No, really. You don't remember minute details.
I don't remember minute details on shit that doesn't matter.
But it matters to me.
Well, then you remember it and have fun with that. Don't burden me with your issues.
Okay, so let's test your memory. What was the day that, that you said...
They said...
that you didn't care about who killed John Benet Ramsey?
Yesterday.
No, that was September of 2016. It was on a Sunday night. I messaged you. I'm like, who killed John Benet? Because they were doing that big Dateline thing about it. And you're like, don't know, don't care. It's like, okay, well, that's rude.
I don't give a fuck. What? No, I'm serious.
She's a 5-year-old that got murdered probably by her mother.
She was a 5-year-old that got murdered decades ago. Let it go.
So she'd be like what?
I don't know.
27
Don't
now?
care. Let it go.
Well, how can we
How does this affect me? It doesn't.
But you love kids.
Okay, yeah, I love kids. My kids.
Alright, then why are you so obsessed with D.B. Cooper?
What do you mean? I am not. How am I obsessed with D.B. Cooper?
It's on your email address, D.B. Cooper. I'm not going to say where, but...
Who the fuck are you talking about?
You, D.B. Cooper.
No!
Yes?
No!
Yes?
No!
Yes?
Listen, you mental midget. What I'm telling you is that I am not obsessed with D.B. Cooper. If we had a conversation and D.B. Cooper came up because it related somehow to the conversation, and I had some knowledge base on D.B. Cooper and the events of the hijacking and whatnot, and an opinion on what happened to him after, doesn't make me obsessed. You're obsessed with twisting my fucking ball sack metaphorically.
Then why are you always searching podcasts about D.B. Cooper?
How the fuck am I searching podcasts about D.B. Cooper?
I'm always asking you, I'm like, what are
You're never asking me!
No, I say, what are you up to? And you say, I'm searching about D.B. Cooper.
What?
D.B. Cooper.
Oh, no, say the name again, because I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about.
Dwight Barry Cooper.
D.B. Cooper.
Right.
That was a synonym.
So, what's going on with your memory? Is it the Splenda?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Alright, so let's test your memory then.
Okay, memory test. Here we go. That's what everybody wants to hear. Tony's memory test. Alright. I'm 46 fucking years old. I still have all my hair. Shut up. I don't care about my memory.
When did you watch the Bruce Lee marathon?
Oh,
On
Jesus
Sunday.
Christ. Listen to me, okay? Truck. In what fucking universe do you think that matters? What day was it when you watched a Bruce Lee marathon? It was a fucking Bruce Lee marathon day, motherfucker. What's the difference?
Then you should know what day it was.
Why?
Because I do, and I wasn't even there.
But why does it matter? Dude, no, we shouldn't be talking about my memory and what's wrong with it. We should be talking about why the hell you feel the need to obsess compulsively about shit that doesn't fucking matter, especially in my life. Worry about your shit.
Because you don't remember it, so who else is going to?
What are you, a fucking chronicler?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, Aesop. Put me down in all your fables.
All right, so let's get personal here with questions. And since
On June 28, 2005, it was an early Sunday morning. I had eggs Florentine with a side of rye toast. I remember stubbing my toes and screaming out loud, and then I punched the cat. But we didn't have a cat. It was my roommate. That was that day.
Who was your roommate?
I don't remember.
Did you know what happened to me in 2005?
You began this obsessive compulsive disorder type of fascination with taking the minute details of things that are inconsequential and storing it in your brain.
That was 1991. At any rate, what are we going to do about your memories? Because I don't want you to be there, like, on your deathbed at, like, 85 and not being able to look back at your life.
Who are you? Are you the black nurse that steals my medicine?
That's a racist comment.
It's a joke.
It's racist.
It's a joke. Truck.
Did you know truck in TV broadcasting means move side to side of the camera?
Yes.
Oh, okay. When did you learn that?
October 13th, 2001.
Oh, where?
In Utica, New York.
You were taking a TV...
Truck.
Were you taking a TV production course?
No. Truck.
We haven't moved the camera back and forth.
No.
Right. You
Right.
keep yelling truck.
No, there are trucks passing. I thought we already went over that.
That was not a truck.
What was a fucking dump truck? Truck is in its name. Dump truck.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, my memory is terrible and I don't have the ability to recognize heavy machinery any longer. Thank you. My life is in shambles. Thank you, Chris, for pointing that out to me.
Well, what do you remember about your life?
I remember that I regret sitting down and starting this conversation with you. That I remember. That was a short time ago. So my short-term memory is fine. So don't worry about that. Anyway, what's next on the list?
The opioid epidemic. Now, this was your...
Epidemic?
Epidemic. This is something you wanted to discuss, so...
When?
You don't remember. That's the thing.
Oh my god, you are making this shit up
No,
just
I'm
to
not.
fucking twist my
the
nuts.
opioid epidemic. You wrote, should we encourage it? What did you mean by that?
Huh? What the? When did I say anything even closely resembling that?
Last night, you turned to me, you're like, we should really talk about the opioid epidemic and be like, should we encourage it?
Okay, alright, I'm sorry. Opioid, not opiumoid.
Opioid, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, okay, start over, please.
I was just swinging some coffee because you were the one that said you wanted me to be drinking coffee like comedians and cars drinking coffee. There you go.
I think my earlier aforementioned affliction of not being able to English is now communicable because it seems that Chris has it.
Have you seen Affliction with Nick Nolte?
So, opioid crisis in America. All right, what
See,
about
he
it?
doesn't remember if he saw it or not. That's why he ran away from that question. At any
Yes,
rate.
that's it. Right.
So why did you ask if we should encourage it?
I never asked that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, bro.
Now, what do you think about the epidemic with these narcotics?
What do I think about the epidemic? Truck!
Do you think it's, like Trump says, it's fake news, we're just overblowing this? Is it really an epidemic? Is it just a problem?
I know 2 people, young guys, who overdosed on fucking opioids in the past 3 years. Okay? One's dead, the other one's alive.
Then why did you say, should we encourage it?
I never said, should we encourage it?
Did you forget to write discourage it and just put an E in?
I didn't write that! That's your handwriting!
You don't remember.
You can't read your own handwriting. I couldn't possibly read it.
This is cursive. I don't know cursive.
How is that cursive? Why write in cursive if you don't know cursive?
You just asked me, how is that not cursive? I don't know cursive, so I can't answer.
I didn't say how is that not... What?
You don't remember.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Okay, so are you saying that we should not encourage using these drugs?
Absolutely not.
Not even once.
They become habit forming. They've been overprescribed, overused.
So you blame the physicians?
And we're just about over it. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So if someone comes in with chronic pain and you went to medical school and you say that you've devoted your life to helping people and they're in throbbing pain that you can't even surmise in your own mind, you're going to push them away and not give them a fighting chance to overcome them.
Wait, if they were in such agonizing pain, how did they walk into my office in the first place?
People can walk in in pain. Haven't you ever seen a football player?
No, I can't remember.
Exactly. People are able to walk. They're maybe not able to live a functioning life.
Like me? I can barely walk. Yeah, okay.
I don't know, can you? Can you remember if you... No, seriously. So you're a physician. You're going to push them away.
No, I'm not going to push them away. I'm going to find an alternative rather than getting them hooked on something that's going to fucking constipate them all day long.
Oh, and what?
Pooping is important.
CBD oil is going to do that? Is that what you're saying?
No. What they need is something natural.
If I was a doctor and someone came in and said, I want some CBD, I'd say WTF. What the fuck do you think I am?
Thank you for clarifying what WTF stood for. I'm sure nobody listening to this knows.
Well, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even remember when you first saw WTF.
So we're educating now?
You're the one that's being preachy.
Oh, you know exactly when you first saw the WTF?
Yes,
acronym?
It was in 10th grade. Mike Rouse wrote WTF on his yearbook because I wrote this really bizarre thing to purposely freak him out. I was like, I'm your daddy, call me Diamond. And I said that over and over. I wrote that over and over on his yearbook. And he was just like, WTF, what the fuck? Mike Rouse, if you're ever listening to this, I'm sorry about that. I'm not going to buy you another yearbook, though, because you stole my girlfriend. So, yeah. He didn't actually. I'm just...
Was she actually only a third full of fluid also, just like the lighter?
Yes.
That figures.
So you don't take any blame whatsoever on the patient not following prescriptions accordingly.
That's the thing. They are following the prescriptions accordingly. But just like every other opioid-induced high, it lessens the more frequent that you use it, so you have to use more and more to get the same effect. It's called chasing the dragon.
Duh. That's why I don't believe in love, because just like a drug, the first time is always what you're trying to recapture every time you do it again and again, and it gets weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker.
No, you get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker.
No, your memories get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. They're copies of copies. Mine are fresh. They're vibrant. They're lucid. I have total control over accessing my memories.
You're also full of shit, too, by the way. I'm convinced you make up these dates and shit.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, basically, stop with this. Look for more natural healing substances like, oh my God, pot.
Okay, I'm with you on that, but CBD oil itself, I don't understand why.
What does CBD stand for?
I know what CBD oil is.
So what does it stand for?
Yeah, but I'm just
What
saying,
does CBD stand for?
we need more of the THC is essentially what I believe in. Even though I don't smoke pot, I'm just saying.
I don't use cocaine. I just like the way it smells. That's all. You're so full of shit. Next topic.
Okay, this is another one that really kind of freaked me out a little bit, but you wrote it down. It's just, is bisexuality a given for people
Oh my fucking god.
living in Corning, New York?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again.
As you said, is bisexuality a given for people living in Corning?
Okay, first off, that's not what you wrote. You wrote is Oh my god, this is fucking like chicken scratch, literally. Is bisexuality a given for people living in Houghton Plot?
The Houghton Plot.
Houghton Plot. What the fuck is Houghton Plot?
It's the area over on the northeast side of Corning. It's the area behind the Guthrie, all the way to the river, over into the corner of the river, back up to Pulteney Street and down.
Okay, you just lost me. So
right
it's
behind the
someplace
Guthrie.
Okay, and people live there.
Yes.
What kind of homes?
Just your average residential home.
Is like trailer park homes? Is it like apartment buildings? Single family dwellings?
Single family dwellings.
Single family dwellings. All right. And do you know anyone who lives there?
A few.
A few people. And are those people bisexual? I'm just trying to get to the basis of this fucking question that you wrote down. Yeah, they are. Okay. All of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so every single person you know is bisexual.
That I know that's from there.
That's from there, right. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so basically you're taking that sample size of those people, 3 out of how many do you think possibly live in that area?
There's about 13 to 17,000 that live within the Corning city limits, so I would say there's probably 3,400 that live in the Houghton Plot. Just off the top of my head.
3,400?
Yes.
Okay, so your sample size of 3 out of 3,400 is less than 1%.
I'm only asking this because you're the one that said I don't want to go to the Houghton Plot because everyone there's bisexual.
I don't even know where the fuck it is!
I know, that's why I'm saying, do you just pick random places and say they have a bunch of bisexuals? They have a bunch of bisexuals? They have a bunch of bisexuals?
Wait, why are you throwing this back on me, Boomerang Mac?
Because you're the one that's prejudiced. You think every place is like Three's Company. Where
Holy shit, what the fuck are you talking about?
You think every place you go...
And don't diss on Three's Company. Don't poo-poo Three's Company.
I'm glad you said poo-poo because I was just about to say you think everywhere you go, an ass is essentially not only exit only but enter only.
I can't even formulate a response to that. You are out of your mind.
Well, you're the one that's paranoid about bisexuality.
I didn't write it. Jesus H. Christ. Folks, if you're listening to this, there might not be a second episode. I'm probably going to murder this guy.
Is there anything you wanted to really discuss in addition to those topics that you just...
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, look. Wait, you wrote down here... Okay, there's something you didn't get to. It was number 3 on the list. Trampoline Man.
All right, well, that's something that I'm very open to talking about because that's really your passion project at this point. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Truck! Okay, so my passion project? How's it my passion project?
You're the director. You came up with the idea.
Yeah, I came up with the idea, but you came up with we should do a feature of this. Trampoline Man is a mockumentary short. It's only 5.5 minutes long. I said, hey Chris, how about we do something like this? And I explained basically who Trampoline Man was. A happy idiot, heartfelt simpleton who loves his trampoline. And he's kind of a derelict. That's it. And I came up with a few little scenarios and you ran with it. So it's more like your passion project rather than anything else. But yes, it's fun. You should go on, YouTube, search Trampoline Man. It'll make you laugh and cry and shit yourself and fall in love all over again. But we are thinking about doing a feature for it. We're hoping to get it out this coming summer. So it's about, 11, 12 months from now.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll have it out there. So if you're a fan of stupid movies, it's just like Dumb and Dumber, but with more dumber. And, on that note, I think I'm thoroughly confused by this conversation. So I am going to say I'm done. And hopefully next time I won't get blamed for every little fucking imaginary thing that's in your head. Yeah. Are you going to sign off or what?
I was just going to say we made up the whole thing about the North Carolina bathroom, but...
You did?
Yeah, I didn't want anyone
Holy
to
fucking shit.
grabbing anyone's Adam's apple. But at any rate, everything else is true. He doesn't have a good memory. He's prejudiced. He thinks everyone's bisexual. Probably because he is himself.
What? No, wait, what? Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
In the words of the bisexual person sitting next to me, till next time.
Who you daddy?
Because of that.
Come down.